you can't never lose this. There is pure love and there is no other emotion which destroys this love or disturbs this love, because you are free. In this video we talk about love because it's one of the most important things, as you know, and I got 3 points for you. The first thing is we talk about what love is not. The second thing is what is real love. And at least the third aspect I like to tell you is how can you reach love. Firstly, what is love not? Some people believe that love and sex are the same. They say, let's make love when they want to make sex. So what is this making love? You can't make love, because love is love. It's a feeling. You can't produce it through making something. That really doesn't make sense. I think that's the worst thing you can say about love. The next point is that some people think love is like a marketplace, especially in pairs or relationships. They are a little longer together and the crush is over. So at the first time there is a crush and you love the person and and there is also sex, but you feel the love too. And when they are together for a longer time, more and more they lose this first crush, and then the intense of love sinks a little bit. It declines. And more the ego of each of the partners becomes visible. I talk about the ego in another video. I set a link below in the video description. When the ego comes up and the first love is away and you are a little bored with your partner, you want another benefit from the partner. So the crush is away and your ego is kind of like empty and wants more. And it comes up in your thoughts that you want something from your partner, or the partner wants something from you, and in most cases both from each other. And the relationship becomes more and more like a marketplace. Like they say, in this case, when, for example, the man has more money and the woman less, and then maybe it comes on her mind to say, if you buy me this earrings or this chain or whatever, if you buy me that, then I will love you. So this is like trade, and this should not be. And on the other side, in lots of cases, the man is working, the woman is at home or less working, and the man wants to do the woman keep the house or do special things. Or even in the cases when man and woman work at the same time, they work maybe 8 hours a day, both. And then, even then, the man has an expectation or expectations to keep the house, the children, whatever. And the wife also has expectations to the husband or to the friend, boyfriend, whatever, to repair the car or whatever. This is the typical role thing, and this typical role thinking, what we have, what we are conditioned, destroys our relationships, destroys the love. To understand this, we now come to the second aspect. What is love? What is true love? I'd like to explain it with an old ancient Greek knowledge. In ancient Greek, they had 3 words for love. That's very interesting, because in English and other languages there's just 1 word. And 1 word doesn't really say enough. In ancient Greek, they had the words Agape, Philia and Eros. Agape, Philia and Eros. The lowest Eros is not so bad. It is like the word says, Eros is similar to erotic. So it's like it's an energy. And this is from what you feel in the first crush, when you feel these erotic things, or with your boyfriend or girlfriend, when your relationship is very new and the erotic stuff is like exploding. And this is Eros level. This is not so bad. It is love, but it's not that intense of love. It feels like intensive, but as you know, later when the crush is away, there is not so much love in it. It's just kind of a little illusion, but for the very first time, for a start, it's a good kind of, you can say, energy. And for some people, they never reach the other levels of love and just reach the Eros level. It's unfortunately with lots of people, they don't climb up. So this is not so bad to experience Eros love. And more people climb up to Philia. Philia is like a friendship love, but not has nothing to do with sex, has nothing to do with other bodily stuff. It's more true love. It can be with your partner, but it also can be with a very good friend. Plato said that philia is given when you have a project together with a friend, an important project. It could be also colleagues when you have a good job and have a good project and you are with your colleague very well, or in your free time with a hobby and with a good friend. So this kind of philia love is higher than Eros because it holds longer. It can hold a whole lifetime and you always would give everything for your friend. In comparison to the Eros love, which is just based on this crush and this sexual energy, and after a short time you lose it. There is not such a big friendship to this person you just had a crush on. Or maybe two. It could also be you can love a person on several stages, but you can also love a person on just one stage. This or this is it's different to many people. Now we have Eros, Philia, and Agape. Agape, the highest form of love, is God love. This means it is not unreachable for you. It is reachable. Although they said in ancient Greek it is God love, and it is taken from Christianity too, because the first Bible was translated in ancient Greek, the first New Testaments, and so they knew the difference between the love forms. We today and in all other translations of Bible in our modern languages it is not given, but in the first New Testament it was given, and they knew about it, and so they used this agape for God love, and it was also given earlier in the ancient Greek 2500 years ago about. It is more like the love which you can reach through meditation. When you meditate a long time and you reach a deeper level of meditation or a higher level of consciousness at the same time, when you reach a deeper level of meditation, your consciousness grows and your inner peace, your inner freedom increases, and you feel love. You truly feel love, even bigger than the philia level, of course much bigger than the Eros level, because you feel pure love without other emotions. In Eros level, for example, and on philia level 2, you have next to the love always other emotions, like being afraid from lose this person. So for example, on Eros level you have sex with a person and the sex was very good and you love this person and he's beautiful, she's beautiful, and you have never had such a good partner, and you hold on and you are frightened to lose this person. The same thing could be at philia stage, because you are dependent to a friend, and when a friend dies you are very, very unhappy. But from this God love, what comes from meditation state, from a very deeper meditation and when you reach your higher consciousness, you can never lose this. There is pure love and there is no other emotion which destroys this love or disturbs this love, because you are free. You are connected with your higher consciousness, and this is undeniable. And so you have not to be frightened from anything, and you will not be when you have this deep meditation status. And at the same time, when you reach this, it also can determine your other levels of love. That means when you have this inner peace from meditation, from this higher love, agape called in ancient Greek, you are also good in your relationships on the other stages of love. You are better with your friends, with your partner, with other people too, strangers, whatever, because of this inner peace. And this is not just a religious thing, what I tell you, and not just an esoteric thing. It is a natural thing. It is nothing special. It is nothing like from a concept. I took this concept to explain. I just took this ancient Greek concept to explain this thing, but it is, if you truly have been there and meditated a lot, you know what I mean. It is concept free. It is not that you have to say you must believe in God or something. No, it is absolutely free. Love is nothing to reach for. This is nothing for you must pay for and then you get something. As it's no marketplace, it is no sex, and it is no you must believe in anything. Let's get to the last point. Point 3. How can you reach it? As I already said, meditation. You would say, okay, I tried a lot meditation and it didn't work, and thoughts come up, and my own thoughts are disturbing me, and emotions, and meditation doesn't really work on me, and I tried again and again. So I will help you a little bit with that stuff in my other videos too, but here I try to get it short. As you know, meditation comes from Buddhism. I don't want to make now ads for Buddhism. I don't want, as you know, no religion, no other concepts. But the interesting point, what Buddha said for me was, it is not just meditation alone. Yeah, often in health system today they use meditation it helps for your healthiness, yes. But there's another point which you need also next to the meditation. And he said it is knowledge about things. Buddhist people would say knowledge about Buddhism. And you can study the whole thing. There's also a psychology in Buddhism that's very interesting. And also the Western philosophy had big benefits when they integrated some aspects from Eastern philosophy and so on. But I don't want to use these old concepts, and I also don't want to use new psychology concepts. I'd like to take my own knowledge, my own experience, and just take a few aspects from this context to explain it, to make it clear for you. But I recommend to not just meditate, because meditation alone doesn't work. It works later when you are more in it. But when you begin with meditation, all that stuff, that emotions, that thoughts, all that comes up is very intensive the first time, because when you have never meditated before, for example, you are 20 or 30 years old and have never meditated, there is so much unconscious thoughts and unconscious emotions. They want to be seen by you, but you, for decades of years, you push them away. Don't want to feel this. It's feels not good, and so when you push them away, they get more intense. You can compare it with a baby. When you would say, no, I don't give the baby food now when it's crying, the baby will cry louder. And the same thing with your emotions when you don't care for them. So the very first time when you start with meditation, it comes up a lot and very intensive. But you can handle this. When you have, for example, exactly what I said, you know this now. This is normal that it comes up a little bit more intensive. And with this knowledge, you can handle it a little better. But there's other knowledge too about psychology or neuroscience, which is very interesting to understand the whole thing. But a really interesting knowledge, what nobody says to you and you just can find out from yourself, is to ask who you are. Also, some old philosophers said it is very important to ask who you really are. It sounds so simple. I know how I am. I am Rebecca and I'm from Germany, blah, blah, blah. This is just the surface. This is my surface. They gave me a name. I have never chosen this name, and they gave me the name. And I was born here, and so this is what is given. But I will go deeper into it. You must find true self. For example, what is given for me, the outside, that I am in this country and have this name and have this car and whatever, this is just from the ego side, from the world perspective, from this point of view, which I can see, which I can get. This is not from inside. But you must really ask you who you really. It sounds like Self-finding. Yes, self-finding is also sounding like creepy esoteric stuff, but it isn't. Consider all that you learn. It's not just that they have given you your name, it is also that all that you learn is conditioned. It begins at school. A friend of me is an engineer at Volkswagen, and he said from all his studies, all his life, before he could get this great job there at Volkswagen, he just needs 3% of all he had learned in all these years. So, you learn something and you don't really need it. You need other stuff to know for your job and for your life, and one day you come on a point and ask for what's the sense of life, why I'm here, and you don't find an answer because nobody says you. At school they learn you several things. I think elementary school is still okay. You need some basics. You need mathematics basics. You need to learn to write and read. That's okay. But on the higher level of schools, I often think when today I see they must learn so much stuff they will need never again. I always think, what's the sense of this? Sometimes I think it's a waste of time. They should learn better stuff at school. For example, how to sign a contract for a house or for an apartment, and how to get a job, how to apply for a job, and this more existential things, but not just for the material existence. I additionally want to say they should learn about for their spiritual existence. And again, it's nothing to do with esoteric stuff. I mean, really, you have a soul. You can't say there is nothing. I'm just the body. Because it's wrong when you are listening to this video and you can understand me because you have a brain and your brain is thinking. And the thinking function belongs to the soul. And that's not the only argument or evidence to say that you have a soul. So you can't say you have not and all that is not of your interest. It is. So therefore, I recommend to ask you, who are you really? Ask it yourself when you are alone. You can also ask in front of people, but they will maybe say what's wrong with you, because most of the people don't consider about such deeper things. So the best thing for you is go in your room, go stay alone and ask yourself, what are you? Who are you really? Old wise Greek people also wrote this question on a temple in Delphi. On the Delphi Apollon temple is written, know yourself or learn yourself. I don't know how to translate it best. It's written in Greek, but it's kind of this, know yourself, learn about yourself. Find out who you really are. Are you that what you are? Are you your job? Are you this whatever you are in your job? Yes, you are that and you have your roles, but this is not all. A good thing to consider who you really are is to remember what was your hobbies as a child when you was young, and what was your hobbies, what was your creative stuff. When you find out something of your earliest years, it will tell you more about, because before education came and before you came in school and all that stuff and in work and so, you were more free and you could more see who you are. And then through the education way and all this, they learned you what you have to be, what you have to know, what you have, because they wanted you that you fit in the whole system. It's not like I don't want to say the system is bad and so, and it's a very safe thing. It can save your life because it is secure and gives you secure and so, but it is like you can't really develop yourself because it's just from all this education way, it is just the target that you have a function in the system at the end, but you are not your true self. You are just on this place like to have to do this function, but It's not so bad for the system, but for you. If you really want to develop and you want to feel love and feel positive emotions, you must meditate and you must find out who you are. And it's not just a thinking process. At first of all, you say how I am really, and you ask yourself. This is speaking and thinking. But it goes deeper. You ask it again and again, and it's a process, and something happens into you, in your soul, when you again ask it for you. Maybe in this modes before you go into sleep, and you are in half sleep, or when you wake up in the morning very early and your mind is not fully there and you are half in sleep. In this mode, is the brain is in another mode, which is more open to your unconscious areas. And in this times, very early in the morning and very early in the evening, it's very good to meditate, and it's also very good to ask you and to ask yourself the essential questions. And when you find out your true self, the love even grows more, and you also get more access to meditation and can increase that positive feelings, that true love. And when you find your higher self, who you really are, you are also a very peaceful person, not more so angry like today. You will get better relationships, you will be better with others, and therefore others will be also better with you, because most people just reflect. It's because they don't think about how to develop and how to find your higher self. And then you can build true relationships, because in this love mode, when you really love and when you really can let people how they are, when a silly person comes, let him or her be silly. You don't have to judge him or her for that. You will learn this through meditation. And even if your partner has a silly face or so, even then you become more quiet and you don't get the will to want to change your partner. He must be different, because as he now is, I can't love him. He must change, and when he changes, then I can love him. So many people think so, but the other person will never change as we are. Maybe just for a short time, but you can't expect that people change. The only thing you can do is look on to yourself and develop yourself. And when you change and let other people as they are, when you always want to say you must be different, you must change, when they feel determined from you, they more and more lose their love instead of increasing it. And when you really can let people how they are, your relationships will become better. There's also a quote from old Chinese Lao Tzu, which is called, like, when you love something and let it go, it will come back. And then, when it comes back, then it is yours forever. If you want to know more such essential things, please subscribe this channel. It's just a click, nothing more. And enjoy much more such videos. Have a nice day. Goodbye.